Burn In by P.W. Singer and August Cole is a thriller book with sci-fi elements. It's like a techno thriller sort of story. I found out about this book by just Googling like best books of 2020, and this article had a couple of lesser known books in there. This is one of them. The concept alone made me want to read this book. It's basically like a buddy cop thriller, but instead of cops, it's an FBI agent. And instead of a buddy, it's an AI robot. So it's like, whoa, you know. But if you think it's like, you know, Jason Statham and Mother from I Am Mother, you're wrong. Because it's FBI agent Lara Keegan and Tams. And Tams is like a dorky 5-foot sort of robot like Kimiko. Or it looks like something that would give out tickets at the Children's Museum instead. Because this isn't quite the AI that's like accomplished. It's like starting out. Maybe in like 5, 10 years, it'll be a super badass super partner. But for now, it's like a baby and it's learning everything from Lara. So that's kind of the concept. FBI agent teams up with a newly made AI program, basically, that connects to the cloud and trains the other robots. So first off, I want to say that I really enjoyed this thriller novel. It basically feels like a movie in book form. You know, you take a cool FBI lady, she's got her home life or whatever, and then she's doing stuff. She has like her job. She's really good at her job. She's ex-Marine. She's badass. And then you throw in this AI robot that she doesn't want. And there's a lot of cool world building because this is like a near future Washington, D.C. Everyone's got watches that connect to things. Everyone's got VR. Drones are sort of like the big thing. Drones are everywhere. Paparazzi use drones. Drones are used by the news. Drones are used by people to take selfies. Drones deliver food. The jobs are being automated and a lot of people are being pushed out. So there's a lot of technophobia, which is an aspect I loved of the book. However, there's one glaring error: pretentiousness. I counted. There are 330 something indexes placed throughout this novel. There's only 400 pages in the book, so there's literally at least one per page, and as many as like 3 or 5 on one page. It's probably because out of the two, there's a P.W. Singer. He's the one who writes nonfiction books about technology, so he's written like 4 books about like communications and things like that. August Cole is the one that helps him out. Let me see if I can find the thing. Yeah, P.W. Singer. He's a New York best-time-selling author of multiple award-winning fiction and nonfiction books on 21st century security. And then August Cole is a writer in narratives about the future of conflict. So the two of them work together to create... Well, P.W. Singer has done 4 nonfiction books, and together they wrote Ghost Fleet, which is a book before this one, about like a future war with China and Russia. So I'm guessing that August Cole was the one that came up with like the framework of buddy cop thriller with an AI instead of a human partner, and P.W. Singer did all the research. And all of the research, there's a lot of research in this book, but he wanted credit for it, so he put indexes all over the damn place. I'm going to just open this book to a random page, and I'm going to count how many indexes there are. Let's see. There's none on this page. Okay, there's none on this page, but here, just let me go to a different one. Okay, there's not that many that I thought. But what I mean is that you'll be reading the book and the little number will show up. And sometimes there'll be as many as 3 or 5 on a page alone. It's very distracting. It honestly hurt the flow for me. And because when you're reading a sentence and there'll be a little number, you can just ignore the number, but then you'll be like, wait, the sentence I just wrote has an article about it? And it'll be something as innocuous as Lara is driving around with the robot, and they drive past a Tyrannosaurus T-Rex statue or something, and then, you know, that actually exists in Washington or something. So there'll be a reference to that in the back of the book, but I don't care about that right now. I'm trying to read a book, and it's like one of the co-authors is like sitting down next to me saying, psst, psst, that thing about the drones delivering food, that's almost real. You know, and you're sitting there going like, that's cool, but I don't really care about that. I want to keep reading. And innocuous stuff like that, I don't really care, you know. If the restaurant in the book is real, I don't want to, you know, have 6, 7 references of the menu or whatever at the back of the book while I'm trying to read the book. It's really annoying. You know, it's different because the indexes are not they're not footnotes at the bottom of the page. They are all at the end, and it's like literally just pages upon pages of references. Here we go. All the notes. Let's just hear. So for Capitol Hill, there's 26 references. So there's everything from history from Hello World to superhero robot wears a different shirt. Stuff like Amazon delivery drones, marchers evicted by the U.S. Army, Marine Corps tattoos, cost of living for benefits for the for veterans, overflowing refugee camps. Like, it's great that like the co-author did all this research to give this book a more realistic touch, but I don't want to know about them in real time. It's really annoying to read a book and have all these sort of little numbers at the end of all these different sentences, sometimes at like 5 on a page at once. So that's the only real like con I had. The rest of the book was great. It was a great thriller. I really like the character of Laura and her partner. And my camera is sort of slowly tilting. There we go. So it's basically them teaming up to stop a cyber terrorist. And it's a great story, very thrilling, lots of humor, lots of badass action sequences. I really dug it. I didn't want it to end, honestly. I think this is going to be turned into a TV show, so I'm very pumped for that as well. But Burn-In is a solid techno thriller. It's basically sci-fi at this point, but it's almost real. And I really liked everything about it except for the, you know, footnotes all over the place. That's at least 1 per page at a minimum. And like for stretches of the book, there won't be any footnotes because it's like, you know, an action sequence where like it doesn't matter. It's just like people chasing each other. You don't need to know about, oh, that's a real building, or, you know, that's a real thing. You know, I don't care about that. It's great that the one guy did so much research, but it feels a little pretentious to have it all over the place during the book. So I give Burn-In a 4.5 out of 5.